Well, we remember those images back in 2020. It feels like so long ago. It really wasn't. Tents being put up outside of hospitals across the country because so many people were sick. Well, now at least one local hospital just north of the city is doing it again.
It's an unwelcome blast from the past. Children's Healthcare of Atlanta at Scottish Rite put up a tent right outside of its emergency department. CBS 46's Don Shipman is live in Sandy Springs tonight to explain why. Good evening, Don.
Good evening. Now, to be clear, this is not just for COVID patients. This is basically an extension of their emergency department. They need more room. Now, because the hospital is actually seeing what they're calling an unprecedented number of children visiting their ER.
Like a MASH tent is kind of how we describe it.
The emergency room at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta at Scottish Rite Hospital looks a little different these days.
You have a nurse, you have a physician, you have a tech, you have exact same resources that you would have inside the department.
The hospital is seeing a dramatic increase in the number of children visiting their emergency department. Pediatric COVID cases are skyrocketing. But Dr. Twee Bowie says it's not just COVID. They're treating many kids with other respiratory illnesses like RSV.
This is probably the first year where kids are truly in school full-time, not virtual anymore. Plus, now kids are going back to school unmasked, and so kids are just getting infected all over the place.
Those infection rates are putting a huge strain on hospital staff and space. But this so-called surge tent is helping. Patient wait times have decreased by half, from 6 hours to nearly 3. Still a long time, but Dr. Bowie says parents can help alleviate that pressure by talking with their pediatrician before visiting the ER.
See whether or not this is something that can be taken care of in the office, and if it truly is something the pediatrician feels needs to come to the emergency department, then definitely come down this way.
And Dr. Bowie stresses that they are not turning anyone away. Also this, they don't see an end in sight with this surge. They say that tent will likely still be in place through the winter months.